Boys and girls, I'm going to read a Dr. Seuss story to you today. It's called The Bipolo Seed and Other Lost Stories. So we all know about Dr. Seuss, but we may not know that he wrote some other stories that we aren't that familiar with. Like we know, The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham. And if I let you think for about 5 minutes, you could probably come up with about 50 more, I know. So Dr. Seuss is known for something. Do you know what he's known for in his books? If you said rhyming words, you were right. If you said he writes silly books, you would have been right too. So today we're going to talk about poetry because it's National Poetry Month. The month of April is National Poetry Month. So I thought, let's read a Dr. Seuss story and let's write our own poem. Maybe even a poem about springtime because we're in springtime now. So let's get going on the story and we'll see how it goes. Oh, there's the beginning of the book. Let's get into the book. Oh, it wouldn't let me. That's okay. All right. Now, the next thing I want to show you how to do is how to do a poem. So I'm going to click on my big screen. I'm going to get out my whiteboard. And I'm going to show you how to do a poem. It's called an acrostic poem. So I'm going to start with a white piece of paper, just like you probably have at home, right? And an acrostic poem is not one that rhymes. It probably could if you really worked hard at it. An acrostic poem is a word that you're familiar with, and you write the word down on a piece of paper, and you come up with some words that describe your letter. So I'll show you what that means. So let me give you an example of a regular poem. Like we know we just read Dr. Seuss's story, and a lot of his words were silly and they rhymed. Well, on this little piece of paper, I just have some little short mini poems that I wrote. One is A Cat and a Rat Fat. Pretty easy, right? I wrote another little one called Joe's Bike Went on a Hike to the Right. And then Joe's toe was really sore, even more. So that's done. I made 3 little poems. And I want to show you how to do one where you're using letters that are meaningful to you. So I made a word that I know something about. It's called cook. So we've got, there we go. It's got C-O-O-K for cook. So right next to each one of my letters, I wrote C would be for chocolate chip. O, they go into the oven. Another O, oh, so good. And finally, K for crunchy too. So my poem was about me cooking. Me cooking what? A chocolate chip cookie. So you could do the same thing with a word that you pick. I've given you a paper on your webpage, and yours has spring on it, S-P-R-I-N-G. So if you wanted to, you could write a poem about spring. Like, I wonder what S might mean to you. Maybe S would mean sloppy, because sometimes spring is sloppy, right? And so you would just go down each letter and think of something that reminded you of the word spring. I bet you could think of another S word that reminds you of spring. Maybe showers. Springtime has showers. See how easy that is? And P, the next letter, P could be puddles. In the springtime, there are puddles. And so by the time you get done, you are going to have a poem that you created called an acrostic poem. So good luck. I can't wait to see your work.